Candy and Kev, Candy and Kev, Candy and Kev. Get ready.
Here we go, it's the show you've been waiting
I know
for.
you've been waiting.
Just sit back, you will see, you're gonna want some more. We talk about love, life, and fun, all in one. Let's take a ride. It just begun. Come on, everybody, you're sure to get your laugh on. It's the Candy Kev Show.
You guys know I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So let me just select some friends over here to share with. I wonder if my friends go, stop sharing your show with me.
Matter of fact, we're gonna hit that show one more time.
Okay, there you go. So we have something very special today going on. It is our Hump Day Wednesday. And Kevin, let me ask you a question. Is there one show that you have watched for the duration of this quarantine so far?
No, I'm not. I don't have a long attention span, so it's hard for me to. If I binge watch a show, I typically end up not liking it. The only show I've ever in my life ever binge watched, it was two, and it was when I first found out about Power, and the second one was Spike Lee's when he did the redoing of
She's Gotta Have It.
Yes. And then that basically because it was a lot of sex scenes. I'm not even going to lie.
And she was naked a lot.
She was naked a lot. I actually saw an interview with her and her husband, and I was like, brother, you better man than me. Like,
wow, you wouldn't like?
No, no.
Kevin, if it was my big break, you wouldn't.
No, don't even finish the question. No, we already had this conversation. And you know what? I was looking at what's her name? Megan Good.
And I sat in on a master class with her, and she said that her husband. They had the conversation, and her husband is good with her doing those scenes.
Well, she lied last night because she said she would never do a nude scene. She would never do an intense love-making scene.
You're right. She
said that last night.
She did say that.
So that's. I mean, hey, listen. I'm sorry. I didn't. When we got married, I didn't know that's what you was going to pursue acting. So. You know, I didn't sign up for that part. So call me petty. I don't care. There ain't no much money in that world. I'll go ahead and do it for you.
Well, wait.
They got body doubles.
Well, see the double standard. Why can't we have a body double for me then?
Because I'm supposed to bring in the bacon.
But no. Oh,
you will hold me out. Wait a minute.
That brings me to a show that I've been watching very well. I actually watched over this quarantine is a show called Mrs. America that is airing on Hulu right now, and everything that you just said just now just reminded me of several of those scenes.
Let me ask you a quick question, y'all, because we got a guest that's going to be coming in shortly. We've got a couple of things going on. Just give me some thumbs up. The sound is okay. You guys can hear us fine. if I need somebody to be my tech person out there if something goes wrong to text Candy, and I'm gonna use you today. If sound is kind of off or anything like that, text us and let us know so we can adjust it. We won't go through the whole show with sound issues. So we're still learning some of the technical stuff, y'all. But thank you for bearing with us. We're trying to step up our game.
But I want to say to you,
110%.
Kevin,
So
shout out to you, because even in this time, you have really pivoted and you learned to step up. Not waiting for anybody else to figure it out for us. You went ahead and you figured out so many technological things, because prior to this quarantine, we depended on a lot of outside people when it came to technical things. And so Kevin went ahead and he just did his research. He went into his lab and he, started getting the equipment and the applications that he needs. And shout out to Jam Network. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be taking it up even more a notch, because they're loving what we're doing. Yes. And they're sending us some more equipment so that we can continue to deliver quality.
And actually, we might even, I'm not even going to put it out there, but it might be the podcast coming back, y'all.
Yes, we might have the equipment. Put it out there, but
it might be coming back. So it was something I was going to say. So as my daddy would say, you either piss or get off the pot. So this is the season where you got to either step up or just go ahead and get to the side and let other people do it. Like right now, everybody, like I looked on Instagram last night and everybody has shows now. So you got to step your game up. We've been at this for 4 years. 5. So I look like it's even a couple of people that I was like, wow, like they got Facebook. Like everybody is trying to find their way now. And I appreciate it. But like it's like you got to step your game up now, because you got so many competitors out there. And like you don't really worry about it, but you just you give your community excellence when you're doing your thing.
And to that point, when you said you have so many competitors out there, the thing to encourage the entrepreneurs, the up and comings, the people who have these aspirations, the only competition that you should focus on is your show from the previous day or from your previous show. You look at that show, you study that show, and you one thing that I've been doing for years and Kevin more recently started to do was I would go back and watch every show that we've done. If there was something that we did on stage, if there was video footage, I would watch that video footage to see how we could get better. Always trying to get better. So the only competition that you have is your previous show, right? Because sometimes if we begin to compare ourselves, comparison is and will always be the thief of joy and dreams. If God has given you something to do, given you a talent, you go ahead and you do it to your best ability. Don't, now do your work. Put in, the creatives always talk about those 10,000 hours and, maybe over the last, so right now, maybe you've not been able to put 10,000 hours into it, but we've been at this quarantine for 3 months now. So just learning something new about the thing that you aspire to do each and every day. Many of the guests that we have brought on, we had a guest recently that came in that dropped a little gem to you all, but she didn't realize that she was depositing a gem into my brain. So I was like, that's how you do that. Gonna look into that soon.
And my mentor once told me, and it really rang really true to me. He said that great. He said that you'll never see McDonald's ever putting a commercial out about their competition against Burger King. He said because they've always been the number one food chain. He said, but Burger King is always trying to challenge McDonald's. So he said, don't ever waste your time. If you consider yourself, whatever, don't ever waste your time on competing against
a billion burgers, sir.
Yeah, so that's where we're at. Like, so we appreciate it, man. We got a special guest today, man.
And one thing on that note, before we close that out, one thing we do is when you are comfortable in who you are, you don't mind supporting we have friends who have started their things, and we'll jump on and support them when and how we can. So that's all. So even if you have a desire in your heart, if you're, maybe it's not doing this type of thing, but maybe it's writing a book, or maybe it's writing a play, or maybe it's cooking, or whatever your thing is. Just because you have all those people out there doing it, somebody is waiting to hear your voice, or taste your product, or try your product. So don't be discouraged. Keep on at it.
Yeah. So before we got a special guest, he's getting all set up on the other end. We'll go into who that is and the rest of the show. But we're gonna take this quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Candy and Kev, and you know us from Car Conversations, but hey, it's the year 2020, and it's time to take that thing up to the next level.
Y'all can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now? I knew he was gonna say something. I knew he was gonna say something, Candy. Oh man.
Okay, so we are back. We're excited to have this particular next guest. If you notice, we've been having guests that join us in the studio nowadays. To bring them so you can hear from them firsthand. This particular gentleman, he's not only a playwright, he has shorts. He's a Renaissance man, I call him. I see him sometimes when I was working in Center City. Sometimes he would be writing Wawa or sitting at the desk working on the scripts, and I wouldn't even disturb him. I would just be like, yo, he's still grinding, man. But he has a particular short out that we're going to get into today, but this is none other than Sherod, I'm gonna mess up. Sherod Lee Smallwood. Smallman. See, I knew I was gonna mess up, and we're excited to have him on the show with us. We're gonna have him join us right now. Let me just take it. This is the gentleman that's gonna be joining us. I got a nice little screenshot of you, man. A good picture that tells the writer, director, all that good stuff, man. So let's patch him in now. There we go.
There you go. Welcome to the Candy and Kev show this morning. As Kevin said, he is a stage and screenwriter, and as well as director. And oftentimes I've seen him and have had the pleasure of working with him, that he's written the script, directed, and acted in it as well. And I remember when we had our first table read, I was like, how in the Hades are you gonna write, direct, and act in this? This is just too much.
He's Mr. Tyler Perry.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, man. Good. We're glad to have you on today, man. Listen, we're gonna we're not gonna do too much talking about the short because we want people. And I want to ask you something about the short before we get into it. We have the whole short here,
but don't give it away.
But I was tempted to only play a portion of it, get to a climax, and then make them go to your YouTube page to see what happens. Would you rather do that or play the whole thing?
That's actually a good idea. I wouldn't mind that. I
feel like we should go through. Can I vote? I feel like
go ahead.
Because there is more coming. Because there's more coming, I think it leaves it with the good cliffhanger because of the next installment.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I like both ideas. I'm leaning towards play part of it and then go on my YouTube page because then I get the YouTube numbers up as well as like get people interested in seeing what's on your page.
Because I can guarantee you they're gonna want to see the rest.
But it's more coming. I just feel like the way it ends, people are gonna be like, "Yo, wait, what's going on now?" It just leaves you like, I need to know what happens next. So I'm fearful that they won't get the whole effect. But
it's your work, sir. So we're gonna let you make the call.
All right.
I think it's a banger.
But let me say this.
Wait. Let's ask the people.
That's a good. That's a
People,
good response.
do you want? I mean, because there is more coming. So, do y'all want to see? And it's not very long, but I have to tell you, the way it ends make you go, "What's gonna happen next?" So we're going to ask the people, if you let me see those thumbs up. It's not very long, but let me see those thumbs up. And while we're waiting for those thumbs up, Sherod, how long have you been in the game? How long have you been doing this? And to my viewers at home, I need to see those thumbs up if you want to let it ride, let it breathe, let it breathe. Sherod, how long have you been at this?
Consistently, I've been at it for, I want to say, 8 years. So I started when I was consistently started acting when I was about 31, 32 years old. Then I just kept on, so not to age myself or anything, but but at the same time, so about then, about I acted in college a little bit. I acted I directed some excerpts of Raisin in the Sun, so I've been at it for a pretty good amount of time. But I've always been a performance artist. I do poetry, I sing classical, I sing R&B, I sing, all through college. You know what I mean? So I've been on stage for a very long time. But as far as acting, stage writing, writing playwrights and stuff like that, for about 7 to 8 years.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Kevin is going to take it to a certain point and he's going to pause.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't pause it?
It's either we got to do it or we can't.
Okay, well, I'll just leave it up to you guys. I'm just saying.
Because once I start, it starts back from the beginning. So
this is a hard one.
And the reason why I was thinking that way, Sherod, and I'll be honest with you, because I was like, you know what? Everyone wants to have higher YouTube numbers. And the way to get them is to give them a little piece. Now, I'll be honest with you. I believe if they watch some of it, they're going to want to see what happens. So it's going to force them to go and support your YouTube page and get those numbers up. So it's totally. But I mean, I understand because and see, this is my wife. She's being humble. She's in it. She's in it. She's in it.
Why I said
but no, I can understand if I was in something. I want the people to see my whole
no.
body
I
of work.
just like the writing.
No, it was. Listen, okay. I'm and Sherod knows me. Sherod knows like I'm one of those people. I'm like, yo, this is garbage. I watched that drone 3 times consecutively back to back and said it to my homies like, yo, didn't this happen to you, dog? Like, so,
wow.
Like, and we're going to get into what was your inspiration behind it, but do y'all want to get into it so the people can see what we're talking about?
Before, I want to, Anna, is everybody good? Can everybody hear? We're checking in with our technical help. Our audience is our technical help today.
Okay.
Anna, are we good? Can everybody hear? Can everybody see what's going on? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Because this is going to be a good one. Trust me, you're going to want to hit that share button, guys. Hit that share button for this what's about to happen. So without giving it away, introduce your the screen. I'm sorry. Somebody just sent me something and I said screen. Introduce what we're about to witness.
So I set it up the way it was set up in my mind. So imagine you're sitting at a breakfast place. It could be like IHOP, it can be just a regular diner. You're just chilling with your friends, and all of a sudden you look at a couple and they look like they're having a great time. Just a wonderful time. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're enjoying themselves. And then all
pause
of a
right
sudden,
there. Don't get too much. That's enough.
Okay.
Let it breathe, Kev. Here is John's Leftovers, written and directed by Sherod Lee Smallwood.
You guys need anything else?
No, just each other. That's all.
Did you talk to your sister?
Yeah, I did.
Well, was she mad?
No, she understood. She knows that we really need this time, but what did your job say?
What could they say? When the last time I took a day off? Huh? Shit, I earn these days. So, how much time do we got?
Well, we don't have to rush. She said we can take our time. So I was thinking. Excuse me? Oh no, please stay. I love the food. Do we know you?
I don't know. Do we, John? Oh. And that picture on your dresser don't do you no justice. And you lost some weight. Girl, that diet did you good. I mean, John said you were struggling with your snapback game. And it looks like it's a cheat day. You know what they say about them cheat days? Oh, they seem harmless at first, but she paid for them later. Before you pick up this cup and make a scene in this place, make sure you aim for the right face.
Why are you here?
That's right. Our daughters look alike around the eyes. Your son, not so much. John says she ain't his, but we shall know soon. Oh, baby, keep back. Catch up. It's a little dry.
Tasha's killing it. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Mm.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Anna, we gotta start that
thank
over.
you, Anna.
Anna told us
So-
we were muted.
so-
So I was saying I have to get myself, when you saw me doing this, I had to get myself together because I'm feeling the emotions from that scene again. Like anybody who knows me is when that eyebrow goes up, I'm praying that old Candy don't resurrect.
So as a married man watching this, man, I was sitting there, and again, I'd never been in this position before, but I felt like John. I was just sitting there like you ever see your homie get in trouble, and you sitting there like you in trouble with him, and you ain't even done nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Like he get in trouble, or y'all all in trouble. I felt like, yo, John, it's about to go down. But what was your inspiration behind this, man?
I was literally just like one of my old heads, like we play basketball on the weekends together, and we always go to breakfast, to catch up, once or twice a month, and we was in IHOP, and everybody was just me doing the thing, and it was super quick. I looked over to the side and I saw this couple, and I was like, wow, they look real happy. I was like, what if somebody just came that quick? It was really that quick. It was like almost like a writing exercise. Like, what if this happens? And that's how a lot of my writing starts, whether it's super personal or just in general. It really starts off like with a question that I'm trying to solve, and um and it was just like that quick. And I just started writing from the perspective of this person talking as though they know the woman, even though the woman doesn't know them. I was like, what's the most quickest way to illustrate this, and how would the guy react, and like just like that shift of you're comfortable in 1 minute, then you're uncomfortable the next minute,
Yes.
and yeah, so that's where inspiration came from.
And real quick, for those that was like, is that it? No, it's more to it. But what you're gonna have to do?
More.
I'm going to put the YouTube clip in this particular episode. You want to click on that to finish watching it, and then
tell
leave
us
your
what you
comments. Yeah, leave your
think.
comments. Share it with people. When I say it's the best 6 minute short, and I'm not just saying that because Sherrod is here and my wife
I
is in it at
appreciate
all.
that,
They'll
man.
tell you it's been stuff I'm like, not to Sherrod, but it's been stuff that I've been like, that was kind of whack. And my wife like, and I'm like, well, you want the truth or you want me to be a yes man? So like, I'm really honest because I believe that a friend should tell you the truth. This was
Yep.
probably the best short that I've seen that really had me bought in. Like, yo, like I wanted more. Like I was like, yo, where is this going? I need more of this, man. So it was an amazing situation.
The hardest thing is Tasha, who plays the lady who comes and sits down.
She was a side chick. Call her what she was.
She's a side chick, and she's a friend of mine. So here's the thing, and I don't know if this was very intentional with Sherrod. So I will put this question out. He kind of gave us the scripts, gave us 2 weeks to. Well, no, not even 2 weeks. That's a lie. He gave us about a week to memorize the script. And we went in to shout out to the Breakfast Boutique in Chestnut Hill. And we didn't practice the scenes with each other beforehand. All of the emotions were very much in the moment. And Sherrod had to keep saying to me, yo, Candy, I'm going to need you to keep your cool and stick to the script. Because I did not know what was going, because reading it on the paper and then acting it out, I just had this flood of emotion, and it was crazy because I'm like, yo, Tosh, you my friend. What the age?
Yo, and the crazy thing, like, and I was telling my wife, I said all the cast members did an amazing side. I said, but Tasha, like her cues was just like so on. Like I was like, yo, it's one part, and I think we saw this when she said before you throw that water. Like, and I was just like, and the music stopped. I was like, yo, this is excellent right here. Like, I was like, throw the water.
I wanted the flip tape. Now, how did you write? Okay, so we did not. There was no ad-libbing and no improvisations in the script. We just stuck to the script that he wrote. How were you able to write from a female's perspective?
That's an interesting question because like you worked with me like numerous times, so like I the writing I do for women, like I do a lot of writing for women. I always try to put women and men too, but women in particular in perspective to show all different sides of themselves. And what I try to do is I have a really empathetic personality, so I try to say what would happen if I was in that person's shoes, or if I was in my mother's shoes, or I was in a friend's shoes. And I thought about stories I've heard where this has happened to women, or similar situations have happened, and I try to reflect on that too. So, like, empathy is really, not just a woman's perspective, but from a human perspective, helps me to write. And really, when you or Tasha or another talented woman comes in, they really add that woman's perspective to it. You know what I mean? They give it that extra. They give it what the writing can't. You know what I mean? They give it what the writing can't give it. So I can
So,
go up to a certain extent, or men and women, but when you add you to it, you give it that woman's perspective. You give it that person's perspective. So it's really the second writer is always going to be the actor, and even if they're not ad libbing, it's always going to be the actor. So yeah.
The one thing I loved about it was it took you on, in just a short period of time, it took you on such a range of emotions. It starts you off where you're just like, oh, this is a love story. Look at a couple that's busy. You related to it, like, and finally had time to make it. They got kids. They're able to have some alone time. Go out, have a little date night, and it goes like within a blink of an eye, the music tells it. Like, all hell's gonna break loose. Like, and it definitely takes you on and it leaves you like,
yeah.
Like, so it's a roller coaster ride through the whole thing. What was your like? What did you want the audience to feel?
I think with any of my writing, but particularly this, I wanted them to, for every aspect, I wanted them to be on the journey. I wanted to take them on the journey. I didn't want them to know what was going to happen next. That's why when she grabs the water and then Tasha grabs her It's like, what is she going to do next? And I wanted people to be in, Candy's shoes. I wanted to be in shout out to Chavez. He's the guy. Shout out to him, Chavez Grant. And I wanted to be in Tasha Candy. I wanted to be in shoes just to sit down. Like everybody's journey was different within those three personalities. And if you can be in all three at the same time and you could take something from it, because I've heard different responses. One young lady, she was really upset after watching it. I showed her the rough draft. She was like, "Nah, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what people do." And it got her emotional. I was like, this is just a satire, right? And she was really upset, like really upset. And I'm like, maybe I should have shown it to her.
No, you know what? Like honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, Sherod. Like I had to really because we went in, we shot it, we hugged up, and then we left.
And she came home fussing at me.
I had to. Where
you been at? I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, on my car ride home, I was like, yo, that was so not how I would have handled it. My husband's like, what are you talking about?
Who are you looking at on Instagram? I'm like, what are you talking about?
I was like, which leads me to another question. And this is something a lot of creatives always ask these questions when a director or a writer, or when a writer and a director, because they're in the casting director, when you wrote this piece, did you have actors and actresses in mind? And how did you choose your final selection when it came to actors and actresses for this particular piece?
Yeah, I had actors. I have actors in mind. I wrote it around. Tasha was my first actor. You was my actor I wanted for that particular role. So I had my actors in mind. I knew who I was going to act immediately. You know what I mean? The guy I wasn't 100% sure, because it was like, okay, who can I find within this age range? Who can I find? That became a little bit hard. It's always harder to find, for me at least. It's always harder to find male actors than women actors. So, but you and Tasha already had y'all in mind when I was writing the script. I saw everything. I had another actor in case I had other actors, in case you guys couldn't do it. But in my mind, when I was writing, I had you two in mind. Because I know your instruments. You know what I'm saying? So I know what y'all can do. I know your range. And to be honest, Tasha had an easier part than you because you had to withhold. Everything you did had to be honest. Because it wasn't honest, it wasn't going to show on the film. So you had to do you had to hold a lot of emotions in and let it explode through facial expressions. That's why I showed a certain part. I'm not going to say it because it hasn't shown up yet. I showed a certain part when you was doing something. I was like, Candy, do this, and I really wanted, because I wanted to see the people see the frustration, and not only in your face but in your demeanor as well. So yeah, I did have a more than a few actors in mind. Yeah.
Let me say this. I can tell you Candy did an excellent job acting, because that glass of water not only would have been thrown on her, but I'd have been hitting the head with a bottle. It would have just been, it would have been Nightmare on whatever street in Philly it was, because it would have been a lot of cussing.
She a little crazy. She would have
been a lot of cussing. I'm telling you, for a whole week and a half straight, she was looking at me like this. I'm like, baby, you want to go to no. Like,
wait, no.
We gonna eat home. Get them oodles and noodles that I put in the bag for you. Like, it was crazy, man.
Wow.
So, will there be I am curious about John, about Jane, and about that hub. I mean, the side chick. Will there be? And it's so crazy. I think the hardest part was because off screen, Tasha and I have worked together on several projects, and I absolutely love working with her because she's very, very talented. And she's one of those people that, whether you're on stage or you're in front of a small screen and being filmed, I don't know if people will get this, but she makes you want to act. It's like
Yeah.
she's just. It's not hard. It's just easy. The thing that was hardest for me was Sherod had to say, "Candy, remember, you can't say nothing. You gotta take
And
it."
that ain't Kev. Calm down.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, through the whole thing, I was sitting there and I was just like, she is sitting there like if this was my husband.
I was.
I was like, I said, I wanted for her to really get into this character that she had to replace the Mr. Sanchez. Is it Sanchez?
Chavez.
Chavez. That she had to replace his persona with mine.
Well, yeah, that is
order.
actually an acting technique substitution.
Yeah.
So shout out to T-Saw, the Tasha Smith Actors Workshop, and the person who works with me directly, Larry B, because that's how I definitely engaged because although I was looking at Chavez, it was you. Like I could not even tell you. I literally put your face on him, and my husband prior to us getting married was very promiscuous. I'll put it like that.
Oh my god! Oh
So I
my
had to
god!
put myself in a situation of what would have happened if when we were dating, that the likelihood of when we were dating that scene could have been a thing. And so it was like I really did substitute Kevin for Chavez. So I just saw Kevin's face and everything. Now the one the one thing I was concerned about, I was like, because Kevin's a little special. So I was like, how's he going to feel? And as soon as one of his friends, I saw on the feed, as soon as he put his hand on my hand, he wrote, "Oh, I'm telling," or whatever. But I did.
I saw.
Yeah,
You know what? And I understood like a portion of it was acting, so I wasn't even really worried about that.
But yes, I was seeing you.
One of the things that really struck me was one of the things that we do, Sherrod. So you'll know when she does any type of script, she does like sometimes she'll ask me to run through her lines with her, and I'm like, no, I hate it.
Not this
like,
one.
I don't want to act. But this one she didn't, and because she wanted to see my real raw reaction to the short, she never really told me about it at all. So when she came home that night, again, she was still in actress mode. So like she's snatching stuff and all this, and I'm like, baby, want some popcorn? You want some, And I'm like, what is wrong with you? So I'm thinking like it must have been a bad day on set. Like she must not have been, she must have tanked. Or bombed or something. She not happy because when she's not happy with her performance, she's hard on herself. She should come home with it and she take it out on me. So I was like, well, you know what? Well, get better. That's what that's what I was thinking in my head. But I ain't say nothing. But man, listen. What I want people to do, I want you to definitely, Sherrod, even if you want to put the link in now, or if somebody wants to put the link in now for the YouTube clip, definitely go and finish watching this. I'm telling you, it's more to it. It
gets worse.
We had just started going up like this before I said, I was like, that's it, that's enough, because we left you with a cliffhanger because you want to go back and you want to continue to watch this. When I say it's definitely going to leave you like, oh, ooh, and the ha 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 ha. Like it's definitely a great situation. It's a great short. Sherrod, what's next after this, man?
Is there going to be a second installment? What happens with Jane and John?
So I really just worked into this a short for just exercise. So everybody asking, people asking you, like, oh, it's gonna be a second. I might make a second, but it has to be within the context of how I set this up. Like, so yeah, it would probably be in the context of how I set this up. But just in general, Candy, you've been in my plays. We were going to do our play this fall, but unfortunately, because of the COVID-19, we had to push that back. But I have two other plays that I want to do within 6 months of each other. I have other shorts that I want to do as well. So and right now, since we're on COVID-19, I'm making the best out of my time, just writing, doing writing exercises. I'm learning how to mix music. I'm teaching myself how to mix music because I write music as well. So I'm just doing all these things and making the best out of my time while I have the time to do it. Really just focusing on being better and coming up with more quality quality projects, for actors such as Candy. Because like I ask people, I don't really like doing auditions. I really ask people to do stuff. So Candy is one of the people I constantly ask, can you do this? Can you do that? And sometimes she can, sometimes she can't. But I understand she's busy, but other actors too. So right now I'm just really focused on, being better, coming up with quality stuff, and setting myself up well after the COVID-19 situation is over.
Well, I have to say, it was definitely this one. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this project because it stretched me as an actress in a different way. It definitely was so anti all of my instincts. So it really put some of my my acting workshop tools that I picked up along the way, it put those to the test. And so thank you.
So before we go, Sherod, everyone is asking, does he have a Facebook page? Where can they follow you at? Tell them where they can follow all of your stuff at.
Okay, so I have a Facebook page, Sherod Lee Smallwood. Sherod Sherod, and I'm pretty sure you'll have like the information, like my name up there. So Sherod Lee Lee Smallwood, just like it sounds, Smallwood. That's my Facebook page. You can follow me on there, and on Instagram is IDNI Productions. IDNI Productions. You can find me on Instagram that way. Right now I just put that one up. I really just started up, so I was gonna put the show up on there, but I haven't yet. So I'm vamping that up. So when we go from the COVID-19, I really have the material and stuff to put out there. But definitely on Facebook, Sherod Lee Smallwood. You can find me on there.
So people, what we need you guys to do, we're going to put the rest of the YouTube clip in this particular feed. Start the conversation. Keep the conversation going. If you don't do this. If you know your homie that's been through this, be like, yo, man, remember this happened to you? Because you might open up an open wound in his house. But let's keep the conversation going. Let's tell Sherod what we thought of it. Give him your feedback. I'm sure the actors will want to know what you thought. If you can relate to the character, if you know somebody else that's been through that, let's keep the conversation going. The link again will be right in this particular feed, so you can continue to watch it and tell us what you think. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. And if you don't, check your pulse because something's wrong with you. But listen, Sherod, we appreciate you coming on today.
When you jump off, they're asking you to post a link right here in the thread, please. When you jump off,
okay.
Tell them don't go watch it until we go off, though.
Okay.
Don't y'all hate us till we go off.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all for having me on y'all show too. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all very much for being good hosts and also being good friends. I appreciate it.
No problem, brother. We appreciate you, man. You have a great one, man.
All right, you too.
Take care.
Yes, guys, that was definitely
I didn't get none that night. I can tell you that much. Even after we watched it, she still was sitting there. You gotta watch. This was one part that Candy does. I'll tell you the whole story of the rest of my week. I'm not gonna give it away, but go ahead and watch it. I'm definitely. It's only 6 minutes, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. It is worth the 6 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm telling you. But listen, I enjoyed that, Candy. We listen, creators. If you got some stuff that you've been trying to showcase, listen, we have an audience. Definitely get at us. We would love to if it's hot. If it's something that we feel like our audience will appreciate, and I felt like we have an audience that'll appreciate this. Sometimes we talk about a lot of relationship stuff, but we never talk about the stuff that goes wrong in relationships.
I'm sitting over here
She's still patting her foot, y'all. We never talk about the stuff that goes wrong in a relationship. This is a situation where the relationship, it looked like it was on, but this is a relationship that went left, and you'll get to see what the result is after that. So next week we'll be talking about how to heal after that. Penicillin, ice packs.
Next week we have another short that we're going to present that shows you on the other side
other spectrum of it. So, and it's different, but you'll be able to.
Tasha's on. She's watching us right now.
Tasha,
she knows that she's my girl. I love her. She's such an amazing actress to work with. Like I said, she makes you want to act. But let me tell you, she's so good that I legit wanted to just.
Candy will tell you. I said, babe, everybody did an amazing job. I said, but that girl Tasha, she was so believable. I was like, ooh, girl, ooh. I felt like I felt like one of her girlfriends, like, ooh, girl, you go, ooh. I felt like I was in a hair salon.
I was like, oh, you're so punk. I was like, I was following the script, Kevin.
I was like,
let some woman talk to you like that?
I would have expected you to fight for me or something, but y'all will get the ready to see. But listen, y'all, this has been another car conversation with Candy Kev. We appreciate you joining us.
It's a different kind of conversation today, but like we've talked about, we want to bring you different styles of creativity and conversation pieces.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us. We're going to close this out today, none other than our good friend, and I know you guys are like, you always, at this point, just going to walk up in a shot like this.
Y'all miss me yet?
If you don't get out of here, that's Corey, y'all. Y'all already know. So we're going to close out with this young man. You know, we always have him on because he always putting out great quality product and great work, and we support him. None other than Mr. Remey Williams. Closing it out with his rendition on Music Soul Child's. Where's my merry-go-round? Shut up, boy.
I'm so helping you do your job.
Y'all have a fabulous day.
I'm gonna go somewhere and like cool down, drink some chamomile tea because my emotions are risen.
I'm going back in my office so I don't get fussed at for something
that's
that
why I
they did
got
on
this deep
screen.
smile because I'm just like I'm there. They took me back.
Crazy.
They took me back, Miss Kim. They took me back.
All right, y'all have a wonderful day. Stay.
My mind is playing tricks on me, but I could have sworn that the kiss that was meant truly for me has leaving me torn. How can love be so kind and so gentle and turning be so cold? And why must my arms feel so empty for what my heart still holds? Memory, how could you go? How could around and hurt me so? Oh, so hard to please you. So hard to please you, baby. Oh, cause until the end of time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and mind. Nobody can go down, baby.